Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the incredible life of one of history's most fascinating figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. You might know him as the French Emperor, or the man who had Europe in the palm of his hand. But there's so much more to his story. Let's get started. 1. From a young general to the ruler of France. Imagine being an army general at just 26 years old. Napoleon Bonaparte did just that. Born in 1769, on the island of Corsica, he was no ordinary child. By the age of 16, he graduated from the prestigious military school in Paris. Fast forward to October 5, 1795, where a young Napoleon faced down an insurrection in the very heart of Paris, at the Tuileries Gardens. His success didn't go unnoticed. Just 3 weeks later, he was appointed general in charge of Paris. From there, he led successful campaigns in Italy, Egypt, and Syria, proving his military genius time and time again. But Napoleon wasn't just a soldier. He was a visionary. On November 9, 1799, he seized power through a military coup, ending the French Revolution while vowing to maintain its legacy. And in a move that shocked the world, 5 years later, on December 2, 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of France. For the next decade, Napoleon was unstoppable. 2. The return of the Emperor. But like all great stories, Napoleon's tale wasn't without its ups and downs. In 1814, after facing the might of Europe, Napoleon was forced to resign. His empire crumbled, and he was exiled to the tiny island of Elba. It seemed like the end for the great general, but Napoleon was never one to give up. Less than a year later, he did the impossible. Napoleon escaped from Elba and, without firing a single shot, regained control of France in just 20 days. The armies sent to stop him, they joined him instead. On March 20, 1815, Napoleon was back in power, but his comeback was short-lived. After another defeat, he was exiled once again, this time to the distant island of St. Helena, where he would spend the last 6 years of his life. 3. The military genius. What made Napoleon so feared and respected was his unparalleled military skill. He fought in 51 battles and won 44 of them, a staggering 80% win rate. One of his most famous victories came on December 2, 1805, at the Battle of Austerlitz. There, Napoleon defeated the combined forces of Russia and Austria, solidifying his reputation as a military genius. But even geniuses can fall. Napoleon's final battle at Waterloo on June 18, 1815, ended in defeat, marking the end of his reign. 4. The Louisiana Purchase. Napoleon's impact wasn't limited to Europe. In 1803, he made a deal that would forever change the future of the United States. Needing funds for his war efforts and realizing that an American empire was out of reach, he sold over 800,000 square miles of territory to the U.S. for just $15 million, equivalent to $381 million today. This territory, known as the Louisiana Purchase, made up 20% of what is now the United States, paving the way for America's westward expansion. 5. The man behind the legend. Despite all his accomplishments, Napoleon was still very much human. There are countless myths about him, like his height. Contrary to popular belief, Napoleon wasn't short. He stood at about 5.5, which was actually slightly above average for his time. And that famous pose with his hand in his coat? It wasn't a sign of discomfort or illness. It was simply good manners back then. But perhaps the most surprising thing about Napoleon was his accent. Born in Corsica, he grew up speaking the local language. French was something he learned later, and he never quite lost his thick accent. In fact, he was teased for it during his school years. Conclusion: Napoleon Bonaparte's life was nothing short of extraordinary. From his meteoric rise as a young general to his reign as emperor, and even his dramatic returns to power, Napoleon's story is one of ambition, brilliance, and resilience. He wasn't just a military leader, he was a force of nature who shaped the course of history. If you found Napoleon's story as fascinating as we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into history's most incredible figures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.